Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 18 Saturday game football between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report of the Cleveland Browns, starting with running back Jerome Ford with an ankle injury, linebacker Jordan Hicks with a concussion, tight end David Njoku with a knee injury, running back Pierre Strong with a concussion, and defensive tackle Dalvin Tomlinson with a knee injury, and cornerback Denzel Ward with a shoulder injury, all out for this game. Then moving on to cornerback Cameron Mitchell with a knee injury, defensive end Ogbo Okoronoroko, I don't know if that's how you say it. He has a knee injury. Blake Whiteheart, tight end with a knee injury. Quarterback Jameis Winston with a shoulder injury. And wide receiver Mike Woods with a knee injury. All questionable for this game. Then moving on to linebacker Devin Bush with an elbow injury. Safety Grant Delpit with a shoulder and knee injury. Defensive end Myles Garrett with a thigh injury. Guard Jermaine Ifedi with an Achilles injury. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy with a knee injury. Defensive end Cameron Thomas with a back injury. And quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson with a calf injury. Now, when it comes down to it, I honestly believe that out of the questionable players, only Cameron Mitchell will not play. Now, obviously, Cleveland is not playing for anything, but both their offense and defense are injured to it's basically a massive injuries on both sides. But I think their defense is going to suffer a little bit more, and this is a crucial game for the Ravens, so it's going to be a lot easier for them with an injured Browns defense, specifically in the secondary. So I'm thinking that the Browns defense is going to suffer due to injuries. Now moving on to the Cleveland Browns offense, we got quarterback Bailey Zappi, running back Deontay Foreman, wide receivers Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, and Michael Woods II. But if Woods cannot go, Caden Davis will take over. Tight end, we got Jordan Atkins, left tackle Jermaine Ifedi, left guard Joel Bitonio, Ethan Posich in center, and then right guard Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin at right tackle. Now, when it comes down to it, I honestly believe that this offense will do a pretty good job against the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, although they are going through their, I think, fourth quarterback at this point. So, yeah, the Browns aren't really going to do much, whether it be Dorian Thompson-Robinson or Jameis Winston. So, realistically, this is going to be a game mostly for the Cleveland Browns to try and tank, maybe get a better draft pick. But, in the end, pride on beating the Ravens could be a factor in the Browns offense trying to win. So, anything could really happen. But for right now, I'm thinking that the Browns offense will not succeed against the Baltimore Ravens defense, although they do have a slight opportunity to succeed against them. Now, moving on to the defense of the Cleveland Browns, we got defensive ends Myles Garrett and Isaiah McGuire. Defensive tackles Joanne Briggs and Mike Hall Jr. Weak side linebacker Winston Reed. Inside linebacker Mohamed Diabate. I don't know if that's how you say it, but strong side linebacker Devin Bush. Cornerback Cameron Mitchell and Martin Emerson Jr. But if Mitchell cannot go, Chigozie Onuzime, I don't know if that's how you say it, would come in replacement. Then at nickelback, we get Rodney McLeod Jr., free safety Ronnie Hickman, and strong safety Grant Delpit. Now, when it comes down to this defense, honestly, it's going to be a tough time. Like, the pass rush is there with Myles Garrett, and honestly, that's about it. Like, maybe a few blitzes from their linebackers, like Devin Bush, for example. But other than that, it's not really going to work against this very big run game of the Ravens. I mean, play actions could be a thing with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, but in the end, honestly, this is going to be a horrific game for the Cleveland Browns, specifically when it comes to the defense against that offense, because honestly, you're going up against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Their best receiver in Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and even Isaiah Likely. Honestly, if you don't get to Lamar in this game, you guys are going to fail. That linebacking core, not that good. And the injured secondary, that's going to hurt you a lot in this game. Now, moving on to the Ravens injury report, starting with cornerback Jalen Armour Davis with a hamstring injury, running back Justice Hill with a concussion and illness, both out for the game. Then moving on to tight end Charlie Kolar with an arm injury, and offensive lineman Patrick McCarry with an illness, both questionable for the game. Then moving on to wide receiver Nelson Aguilar with a concussion, running back Rasheen Ali with a hip injury, defensive lineman Namdi Madubike with an illness, and tackle Ronnie Stanley with an illness. Now, when it comes down to it, not bad when it comes to injuries. Obviously, you got Carly Kolar down for this game. Obviously, that means, well, to be honest, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely are the two top tight ends, so it's not really that big of a deal if he actually does miss this game. The only one I expect to miss the game is McCarry, and honestly, that's going to hurt the offensive line a little bit. And obviously, you got also Justice Hill out for this game as well, but Jalen Armour Davis out for the defense of the Ravens, that's going to hurt them a lot more. Because obviously you got a good run game in Derrick Henry, you got a decent pass game, and you got a good quarterback that can actually make you think that either he's going to run the ball, maybe throw some RPOs or read options, something to make you miss. But for right now, I think even though I only think McCarry will not play, this is going to be a tough injuries for the Ravens defense over their offense. Now, moving on to the Ravens offense, we got quarterback Lamar Jackson, running back Derrick Henry, fullback Patrick Ricard, wide receivers Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar, tight end Mark Andrews, left tackle Ronnie Stanley, left guard Patrick McCarry, and if he cannot go, Andrew Voorhees will take over, center Tyler Lindenbaum, right guard Daniel Falele, then right tackle Roger Rosengarten. Now, when it comes down to this offensive line, other than McCarry, not really that big of a deal. But yeah, it's gonna be like that left side's gonna be like a bit worrisome because of McCarry's injury. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pretty good offensive line. And obviously, you got Patrick Ricard. Honestly, he's gonna have to block a lot in this game for Derrick Henry, or maybe even get some passes in this game. Who knows? Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, not really going to be targeted as much. I think it's going to be more for Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, and Isaiah Likely, while we see some read options and RPOs from Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in this game. Honestly, it's going to be a pretty good offensive game for the team, but is it going to be enough? Now, moving on to the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, we got defensive ends Namdi Madibuke. I don't know if that's how you say it, but defensive end Broderick Washington as well. Nose tackle Travis Jones. Weak side linebacker Odafe Owe. Inside linebacker Roquan Smith and Malik Harrison. Strong side linebacker Kyle Van Noy. Cornerback Nate Wiggins and Brandon Stevens. Nickelback Marlon Humphreys. Safety Darius Washington, and strong safety Kyle Hamilton. Now, when it comes to this defense, it's going to be pretty tough to face for the Browns offense. You got three good defensive ends away and Van Noy off the edges as well. Roquan Smith is one good linebacker also they need to worry about. Nate Wiggins, the rookie, and Brandon Stevens is okay, but Marlon Humphreys right there at the nickel position, that's going to be an issue for the Cleveland Browns. And honestly, Darius Washington's pretty decent, while Kyle Hamilton will be a very big hurdle for the Cleveland Browns in the secondary of the Baltimore Ravens. In the end, it's really all going to come down to how good this defense could pressure the Browns offense and their fourth string quarterback, Bailey Zappi. And honestly, I think that Bailey Zappi will in fact make a lot of mistakes in this game due to not him being a bad quarterback, but due to the situation that the Ravens will put him in. Now, in conclusion, I have the Ravens winning 28-18, and honestly, this game is going to end in the NFC North title headed to Baltimore, while the Steelers clinch a playoff berth as a wild card. Well, technically, they've both already clinched it. This is just for the division, so meaning that Pittsburgh's game at an 8, I don't remember, I think it's 8, will basically be useless for them. They would basically be playing for nothing. And at that point, if the Ravens do in fact win this game, I in fact believe the Steelers will bench their starters right then and there. There's no way or no reason for the Steelers to start their players if, in fact, there's absolutely nothing to play for. They've already clinched a playoff berth, and if they lost a division, they lost it. So, in the end, I expect that Baltimore Ravens will not only win, but win the division after they beat the Cleveland Browns. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who do you think will win and who do you think will lose? The Browns or the Ravens? And will the Ravens be the AFC North champions? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.